Hey guys, welcome back to another video on my channel. Today I want to cover some mini games that you could build using 121 features. As although there are proper uses for all of 121 features, there are also some minor things that you can make with them, including a lot of mini games. The first mini game I want to try is one that uses wind charges from the breeze. This can also be done per player if you want, but my idea here is you would have some players with wind charges. And it's basically spleef, because if you throw a wind charge at the trapdoors will then flip open, dropping the player if they are standing in them. Now this is pretty easy to make if you do want to make it. All you need is an arena. You might want to build some walls around this just so players can't get out of it. So maybe just build like 3 high walls or something around it. But another way this could be used is, I was thinking, you can put breezes in boats and minecarts. So if I was to put a breeze off to the side, so let's just say I was to put like a breeze on this block here inside of a boat. So let's quickly just do so. Breezes can't jump or move when they're in boats like other mobs. Now if I was to go in survival mode, that breeze can shoot at me and it will hit the trapdoors. That's kind of cool, because then we don't have to rely on players. The players have to dodge the breeze bullets. Now obviously this arena might be too big for the one breeze, so we might have to have a multiple. Maybe we have one right here. So maybe we have one right there, and maybe we could also have another one over here, and then another one on the other side as well. Now, a way this could be made easier is you could also have redstone. So there are blocks covering the faces of these. The longer players survive, the harder it gets. And you could have these blocks moved out the way, so then the breeze can see players in the center. So maybe you have 4 difficulties: easy, normal, medium, and hard. Easy is just 1 breeze, normal is 2 breezes, medium is 3 breezes, and then hard is 4 breezes, which would then have one right here. And you could even have extreme, where maybe you even have some breezes on the corners. But if I was to do something like this, if we now try, you can see that breeze is shooting. Let's quickly just... Okay, so that is a problem. The breezes can be knocked down if the wind charges hit them. That could easily be fixed, I think, just by using some iron bars. So there is really 2 ways you could build this. You could build it using breezes. This is going to be a little bit harder because you have to get the breezes from a trial chamber into wherever you have this built. Now you could build it in a trial chamber, so you could dig out a room and then you could just adjust that room to have maybe a fall or some lava or something, depending if you want to kill the player. Or you could have it on the surface and just move the breezes. Once again, if they are inside a boat, they can still shoot, but I don't think they'll hit the player if they are in a boat, if you are in the boat with them. We now have all the breezes hit, so now let's go around and see what happens. If the breezes hit the trapdoors again, they will flap down. I definitely think there does need to be more breezes, and there does also need to possibly be less trapdoors, because it is kind of easy at the moment. Maybe there could also be a power-up where wind charges drop down, so players could pick up wind charges then throw as well. But the thing about this is areas will open and close depending on if the breeze hits an open area. Because if I was to go in survival mode and stand like here, you'll see that these areas do get closed again if the breeze hits them again. And for just standing here, you can't really do that because a breeze will hit you off. So it does also mean you can't just stand on the top of a trapdoor, because you could get hit by a wind charge and you could get hit down into one of the holes or into an open trapdoor. The breeze system is definitely a little bit more difficult. I would definitely say the easier way is just to get yourself a load of wind charges. Maybe you limit players to 5 wind charges and maybe more could drop down over the time of the mini game. I definitely think the arena needs to be a little bit smaller, depending on how many players are here though. And another thing I would recommend is having it so the trapdoors are randomly orientated. So currently they are all opening the same direction. I would just break a few and have them orientated in different directions. And this don't have to be copper trapdoors. This can also be wooden trapdoors. The only trapdoor it cannot be is iron, as breezes cannot interact with iron trapdoors. But not only can you build a minigame like this, there is also another minigame you could build where, for example, you have maybe 2 to 3 players and you have a breeze in a captured area. I did not mean to throw 2 breezes in there, that's fine, 1 on the left anyway. So you have a breeze in a captured area. You then have a few blocks away, you have maybe a block with a candle on top. So I've done that instead, just because with the full blocks there, the breezes wind charges couldn't hit me because they shoot from like this sort of area, so they were hitting the block. And the reason we have a candle here is because breezes could set out candles if they hit them. So if I do that, you can see the wind charge hits that and sets the candle out. But we could make this difficult by having solid blocks around it so you can't go behind it. And you basically have to stand here and dodge the breeze wind charge to then hit the candle. Now that is kind of easy, so I guess you could do something to make it harder, maybe add some blocks missing so the player has to jump around. I'm not covering these so you guys know like the best ways to do them, this is just examples of mini games you could do. I have now also added a copper bulb. Is that going to turn that copper bulb on? It does. So when you've turned this one off, the copper bulb turns on. And maybe you could have multiple of these. I forgot that it can flap them trapdoors, so maybe you'd have to use iron trapdoors here. So for example, you could have a area like this, and you could have the breeze have to hit you up over a wall to then maybe move on to the next part. There is definitely a lot you can do with the breeze. You can also use wind charges for this, so you have to wind charge yourself up, but I think using breezes is cooler. And then you could use the breeze to maybe do another thing. So maybe you have to use the same breeze to then go up this wall. Let's just build a few blocks here. So let's then have an area like this, just so the wind charge don't go off into space. So you could do something like this, where you have to have the wind charge hit you up this first block, and then you have to have it hit you up the second block. Another way you could do this system, instead of having candles the breeze has to hit, you could have a button that the breeze has to hit to then power the light. And if the breeze hits it twice, it will unpower the light, and it's the first one to maybe power 10 lights or something like that. As if I was to go in survival mode and have the breeze shoot me, you can see it powers both of them. But if it was only to power them two and not this one, and I was to have the breeze hit me, you can now see it's powered that one but not them two. So this does make it a little bit difficult. So here we go, you could have something like this. I've just built a plain room with a breeze in the center. I have just noticed that them ones have got a smaller gap between them, but I think that should be fine. So then all you would give the player is some scaffolding, maybe a stack, and the player would then have to try and light all of these. So if I do that, there we go, that one has lit them ones. Now, I need to be tactical about this because I don't want them other ones to unlight. So I need to try and move. Okay, it's unlit them all. So if I stand in the center, that has unlit that one. Yeah, this is definitely difficult, but it is possible if you time it. So it is definitely possible, but it is difficult. So I have the bottom two lit. I would then have to use the scaffolding to power up. One thing I would recommend though is maybe a timed piston that pushes up a block so the breeze can't shoot all the time. As the breeze's cooldown, I don't think is long enough for you to get enough position. I'd say a time of like 5 seconds that pushes a block up and down would probably be enough. But anyway, that is where I'm going to end this video. This was just a fun video where I thought I wanted to mess around with the breeze and the possibility of mini games rather than PvP or PvE. The breeze has so many uses and transporting it isn't too hard because although you can't leash them, you can put them in a boat or a minecart. Minecarts are probably easier, although you do have to build the track. But if you put it in a boat and go in survival mode, the breeze won't be able to shoot you due to it's too close to you. But anyway, if you did enjoy this video, do leave a like and subscribe. Let me know what you guys thought of the minigames in the comments. But anyway, if you did enjoy this video, do leave a like and subscribe. Anyway, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.